Well, sometimes you make a mistake and start down a troubleshooting path that just wasn't right. So I would have swore, I know I was working on a whole bunch of stuff at the time, but I would have swore that I did a compression check on this motor out of the Ranger and everything was good. And that's when I started looking for other reasons like coils and crank position sensors and ultimately the ignition box for why it was not working. And then I said, you know what, this is not making any sense because nothing's making any difference. I went back and did a compression check, and this guy's got 0, this guy's got 110, this guy's got 75. I think that was 125. So I think there's some valves having problems in here. I can't remember if when I did the crank position and put the new belt on, if the belt was factory Ford original. I have a feeling that maybe somebody tried to do the timing and messed up. It doesn't smoke when it runs, even though the first cylinder is a 0. So, and I couldn't troubleshoot it because when I'd unplugged this, it didn't. The third cylinder was still kind of weak, so it was still acting up. It didn't make that much of a difference. It's kind of lumpy anyway. I was having trouble. Anyway, that's where we're at. We're gonna pull this head off and see where we're at. I really like the truck. I got it from my buddy, like I said, so putting a little bit of money into it, even though I went down a wrong troubleshooting path through my own stupidity. There it is, 0, 90, 75, and 110. We're at about $816 into this truck with all the parts and everything, fuel pump and all that. So I can do some head work and check the rings and maybe put a kind of a cheap overhaul on this and give it another 5 or 6, maybe 10 years of life. And everything else was working, so even the air conditioner was working. So we'll recharge all that and get it back together and see where we go from there. So I'll tear this guy down really quick. Well, there's our problem. Number 1 cylinder is missing some valve components. I don't know. It's coated everywhere. Everything's dirty. So definitely is head stuff. But that is definitely our miss right there. And that's why it wasn't completely dead, which was blowing my mind. Because it was running, but it just had no good compression in there. But once it got up to about $4 grand, it had compression, enough to burn. So there's the problem. We'll get that fixed. These guys are well worn. That's why all the oil is blowing by and getting on those valves. Nice lip there. So we'll dingle ball those out, put some new rings in, and we'll give it another few years of life. I don't think it's worthy of a full rebuild. It's not that good of a truck. Okay, a new head is $600, and a new set of valves is $130. So we're going to trade some time and work for some money and put some new valves in this guy. I'm going to take it apart now. Well, I got this kind of cleaned up and looking better. Did some surfacing on this with the stone, cleaned these guys all out. We're not going to re-ring it. It's pretty good. It didn't smoke when it ran, even though it was messed up. So I'm going to spray some black paint on this, I think, make it look prettier. Still in progress on the head. I got the sides cleaned up and everything, but I'm going to do some work on this surface. And then we're going to start throwing her back together. Mostly just going to clean tonight. I got some new exhaust valves. The intake valves look fine. And then
bearing, I'm sorry, gasket set. Just standard gasket set, nothing special. So we're just making progress. Tonight I'm just going to try and get everything cleaned up and ready to go back together. I might throw some paint on so it can dry overnight of just stuff, you know, just make it look better. Anyway, that's where we're at. I'll take a quick video before I stop for the night just to show you guys how everything cleaned up. Alright, so I started lapping, these are the new valves. I started lapping those guys in. You can kind of see the gray. That's a nice consistent ring, what you're looking for. Now if you look at the worst one, you can see right in here there's like a little bit that still needs to be ground down. It's hard to see, but I'm going to hit those one more time. Then I got we're going to reuse the intake valves. So I got them kind of cleaned up. I'm going to clean them up a little bit more, but I cleaned up the surface there. And then at the back. So we'll lap those in tomorrow because it's getting a little late. Cleaned up some parts. And yeah, we're almost ready to start putting this head back together. Just got a little bit more lapping to do tomorrow. Hands get tired of lapping. Using the hand tool. And yeah, so we'll hit these guys one more time. Then we'll hit all of the intakes. Should be just cleaning up on the intake side. And then we'll start bolting it back together. Maybe get it in tomorrow or Sunday. Alright, got some cleaning up done, some black paint. I didn't miss it. I left this off because I'm going to clean that up for surfacing. It's already ground down, but these guys are all smooth and clean. I cleaned up the aluminum oil pan. I did not take it off, and then I hit it with some silver header paint. You can see the difference here and here. You don't see none of that. I just can't help myself. And then I got this work done on these guys, so I don't know if you can see that in there. Should be pretty good. And then also did the intakes. Just use the old school suction on a stick and a lapping compound from O'Reilly's actually. I surfaced these a little bit, put them in a drill and put them on my flat stone because the suction cup didn't want to stick to them because they were porous. So you see they're shiny a little bit. I just kind of cleaned them up. It wasn't to do anything other than make my suction cup stick better. So now we will put on some valve stem seals. Got the head bolts. They're non-reusable head bolts, so I had to buy new ones. They were only 20 bucks or something like that. It was reasonable. At least they're not charging me $150 for head bolts like in the old days. But they are non-reusable, so once they're stretched out, they're done. Anyway, I'm going to do that in a minute. I took this guy for a ride today, and after doing the water pump and stuff, and I got to adjust the clutch. I'm going to go for another ride because it's sunny outside. We don't get a lot of that around here. Alrighty, got the new valve stem seals pressed on, cleaned up all these parts, and got those all on in the right order, the same order they came from. I used a vise to compress the lifters here, get the old oil out, just slowly, just like you do with a tensioner on a timing belt, and that gave me enough slack to get these guys on. So I got all those guys on. I just set this on here, so it's got the head gasket, got the dowels in there, and fixing to put the new head bolts in. The other ones are stretch fit, so one use only. And don't know why I have so much extra cam stuff, but I'm going to use that for lubricant for the bolts. I'm going to put it on the surface here and also on the threads, and then we'll get a good torque on them. And then I think I'm going to put the spark plugs in where they're really easy to get to. And that might do it for tonight. We'll see. Maybe. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, got this guy inside. Got the big old, there was a huge rat's nest in the bell housing. That's why the smell would never go away. So got that out. Just not washed it, but just kind of blew it out with air and then hit it with the water hose just to get all the gook out and the pine needles and stuff. So it's a little cleaner, but I mean, I didn't wash it with soap and water. Anyway, we're just plugging away. A little bit behind schedule as usual. I did get to take the Mustang for a ride today. All right, well, we got this all cleaned up. I just wanted to knock most of the dirt and stuff off. It was filthy from the farm. I had to pull this out. Can't remember if I told you or not. I had to pull this out because I couldn't get it to align in the truck. I put the motor in. Everything looked good, but it just wouldn't slide in. So I'm going to put it together out here and then put it in there as one piece. A little bit easier to do that way, I think, by myself. I'll wash this a little bit. Oh my goodness. should be nicer. You know, anytime I pull something out like that, I like to take it in and clean it really good. But yeah, so we're gonna slide it in this way. I don't know if I got to take those bottom pieces off or not. I hope not. The torsion bars. No, not torsion bars. Sorry. The lower control arm bars. Hopefully I don't have to. Hopefully I can sit it down in there. But anyway, that's an update there. Yeah. Well, here it goes. I'm going to push it forward, the truck forward, so I can get more swing on the things, but we'll see if she fits in there. Alright. Got her all in. My wife had to help me push it in at a pretty good angle. I had to take the the crank pulley off and the starter back off before we clear everything, get in there. But now we're in there. Got some fluids topped off, got some oil in it, some power steering, water. We're gonna have to do the transmission fluid after I get it up. We're gonna get it started first. So here goes the first start. Oh, I had this wire, which goes to the main harness here, on this post. So I had to swap it. I wasn't getting any power. Now I've got power, and we'll see what happens. That's nice. A little noisy. Everything's dry and grainy, so it should warm up a little bit. Sounds like it's running a lot smoother. That's I think that's oil on the exhaust. Pretty good. Oil pressure's good. Charging. Temperature's cold, which is appropriate. Right on. I'm liking it so far. Well, I'm gonna let it warm up and top off all the fluids, and we'll take it for the first ride after I do the transmission fluid. Alright, man, I got the hood back on. Just taking it for a couple test drives. I haven't recharged the air conditioner yet, but or put the shifter boot back in, because I've been sidetracked. But I'm gonna do a cold start for you if I can get in there. Let me do a cold start and let you hear it. Ah, never works. Yeah. So like I said, gotta put the shifter boot in. Oh, close this door. Shifter boot in, charge the AC, and then I'll start messing with stuff. Oh, look at getting this windshield replaced. And I think we'll have a perfectly done daily driver. Wipe it out one more time because it's been sitting for a minute, but man, it runs beautiful. Super happy. Oh, here, I'll pull the noodle off so you can hear that all those noises are gone. Poor Mustang. She got some moisture inside even though I had a car cover on it, so letting it air out a little bit. Running really good. Super smooth. Got good power. Gets up and goes where it needs to get to. And yeah, I love it. It'd be really cool if it had the weight of that canopy off, but some people like them, so it's a good spot to store stuff. As a matter of fact, I got to crawl up in there and clean the inside of those windows, but I got some work stuff in there already. So, yeah. All right, that's going to be it for this guy. It's a successful journey. It would have been easier if I would have properly troubleshot, but these things happen. You know, everyone gets a brain cramp, and that's exactly what I had. So we're going to do a couple little things that nothing was worth watching, and we'll be done with this guy. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Well, that's that. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.